You may be wondering what the hell that even means. Well, let me explain. In the past, I've done many videos on this game, whether it was turning into a serial killer, beating the story with only a specific weapon, or even just trying to bust some myths. Taking that into account, it's been hard to come up with new video ideas. I mean, there's only so much you can do. However, against all odds, I was actually able to come up with a pretty great one. Essentially, I'm going to be spinning a wheel with over 8 different rolls on it. Some are new and some are old. Whatever it lands on, I'm going to, well, become. Pretty straightforward, right? Before I get into the meat and potatoes, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Police officer? Huh. You know, it's funny. Most if not all of my videos on this game have been nothing but crime after crime after crime. Honestly, it's quite poetic how I'm finally switching sides. To make this heartfelt change of life possible, I had to install a mod called RDR First Response. By the way, every mod that I use in this video will be linked in the description. Once I had everything set up, I made my way over to the sheriff's office in Rhodes, changed into something a little more fitting, and began my first shift as a police officer. Right off the bat, some random NPC came up to me and started wailing about a stolen horse. You may think I'm being a tad bit too harsh, but trust me, there's context. The quote-unquote stolen horse was literally just a couple of feet away in an unlocked pen. Like, come on now, do better. While I was strolling along my merry way, I came across this dude who was being held captive under a shop. Finally, something exciting. Moving on from that, once I entered the shop, I made the owner lead me straight to the guy he kidnapped. As it turns out, he lost his son in some sort of freak accident. In turn, he decided to kidnap this grown-ass man and force him to become a replacement, in a way. Thank God this game takes place in a time period where the death penalty was normalized, let alone praised. After that, I stumbled across one of my colleagues. He seemed like a pretty chill dude, so I recruited him to my squad. And man, it's a good thing I did, because the next mission I was tasked with was one of, if not the hardest missions I've ever attempted. Kidding. It was obviously just another stolen horse objective. Listen, I get that it's my first day on the job and all, but man, I'm already getting sick and tired of it. At this rate, these people should count themselves lucky if I don't go corrupt and turn into some evil dictator by the end of the week. Honestly, that doesn't sound half bad right now. Rant aside, while I was getting some steps in with my new buddy, a group of criminals started shooting up a barn. Why exactly? Hell if I know, but hey, it's something to deal with that doesn't involve stolen horses. I would say that these lowlife thugs didn't stand a chance against me and my partner, but that'd be a straight up lie, considering he didn't even try to contribute in any way, shape, or form. Is murder really a crime if there's a really good reason behind it? You're just asking for a friend. That's all. Honestly, I was getting bored with all the menial tasks that I've been doing, so I decided to take on something a little more significant, aka bounty hunting. Not only will I be putting a dirtbag or two behind bars, I'll also be making a bit of money on the side. It really couldn't get any better than this, like, come on now. The criminal I'll be going after today is known as Mark Johnson. He's wanted for a couple of robberies and a successful escape attempt a few years prior. The reward's $25, which isn't crazy or whatever, but it's better than nothing. Upon finding my target, I went to hog tie him, and for some reason, the game bugged out and put him into this creepy ass pose. I think I've said this in another one of my videos before, but I swear, Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the most unrealistically realistic games ever made. And the worst part, that wasn't even the strangest thing that happened. God help us all, especially me though. After an experience like that, I thought it'd be best to take a little break, so I went on over to the bar and forked up some money for a shot of whiskey. Sadly, this period of relaxation didn't last long. 2 numbskulls began causing ruckus, right next to me, might I add. You know, the police officer? Yeah, talk about being a little slow in the brain. Obviously, I had to teach them a lesson, so I beat them both to a pulp. I might have gone a bit too far since they never actually woke up, but let's not dwell on the finer details. To be honest, Rhodes was getting a bit too still for my liking, so I decided to switch it up and start patrolling Saint Denis instead. Don't get me wrong, it's certainly a lot more to take on, but I believe I have what it takes. In the end, there's really only one way to find out. I started with a bunch of typical jobs, like investigating and a good share of shootouts, obviously. I was genuinely expecting there to be a large amount of stolen horse missions as well, but unlike the people down in Rhodes, these guys are actually competent and don't lose their horses 24/7. Hallelujah. I also took on another bounty mission, which turned out to be a lot more difficult than the last one. I definitely wasn't prepared in the slightest. So much so that I ended up biting the curb. Good news? I was able to restart from my last checkpoint. Bad news? I lost my police officer outfit in the process. But you know what they say. Clothes do not make the man. So I went against all odds and took down every last one of these scumbags with no remorse whatsoever. I then went to the police station, turned in my target's lifeless body, and collected the payment, all in a day's work. Am I right or am I right? Most Wanted Man. About time I revisit this challenge. As of right now, my most popular video on this channel is titled I Became the Most Wanted Man in Red Dead Redemption 2. Hell, let's be honest here, most if not all of you probably found out about my channel through that video, and for good reason. In my opinion, it's one of my best. Essentially, the objective in the video was to get the maximum bounty, which is $1,500, in each state. New Austin, West Elizabeth, Ambarino, New Hanover, and lastly, Lemoyne. Obviously, it'd be really boring if I decided to just do the same old challenge all over again, so to spice things up, I'm going to be activating a special modifier in each state. Now, I know what you're all thinking. CJ, what in the world is a special modifier? Well, I think the best way to explain it is to, demonstrate, starting with New Austin. And voila, there you have it. If you weren't able to tell, the special modifier for this state turns every gun into an all-powerful weapon of absolute destruction. This should be fun and relatively quick. I was killing everything in my path. I mean, how could I not? Revolvers, sniper rifles, shotguns, you name it. In my opinion, the sniper rifle was the best weapon to pair with this special modifier. It's like using a machine gun, but with an insanely precise scope, if you get what I mean. Hell, I don't even know if I get what I mean, but man, it was a lot of fun. Moving along from my rather psychopathic monologues, once my bounty reached $1,500, I got on my horse and rode until my entire wanted level faded away. Here's hoping the next state, West Elizabeth, is as easy peasy as this one was. Before we find that out, the special modifier for West Elizabeth turns every gun into some launcher thingy. I don't really know how to explain it, so just watch and learn.
I don't care what.
Yeah, so this should be interesting. Speaking of interesting, look at this kill. I was honestly at a loss for words when I somehow pulled it off. There's a first for everything, I guess. It didn't take too long for the cops to notice my killing spree, and for that I'm extremely grateful. Just means that there's more people to shoot into infinity and beyond. Even though that sounds great and all, they really started adding up after a while. It was getting to the point of being way too much, so my best bet was to find some high ground and continue racking up my bounty from there. For some odd reason, a lot of them thought it'd be smart to climb up the ladder that put them straight in front of my line of fire, but hey, I'm not complaining in the slightest. If anything, it's making this challenge a whole lot easier for me. Sooner or later, I was able to get a $1,500 bounty. Yippee-ki-yay and all, but we're kind of forgetting one thing. How the am I supposed to escape? Obtaining high ground is one thing. Coming back down from it? Yeah, that's a whole other story. In fact, that story was far too complex for me to even try to comprehend, if you couldn't tell. I might have gone out in vain, but my bounty is still at $1,500, so that's a win in my book. Up next is Amberino. My main problem with this state is how much of a boring, lifeless drag it is. Especially when it comes to obtaining a bounty. You gotta do what you gotta do though, so just bear with me guys. This time, the special modifier will be the removal of gravity. Well, not entirely, because that'd make this challenge impossible to complete, but still. For those unfamiliar with my Most Wanted Man video, the way I got the law after me in this state was quite simple. I'd basically just kidnap a random NPC and wander around until another NPC saw me and alerted the authorities. It's a little tedious, but it works. I think the funniest thing about this special modifier is how it affects the horses. Like, how does one even begin to explain this? Oh, also, I forgot to mention that the whole removal of gravity thing affects me as well. For example, it usually takes an eternity times 2 for me to finally come down, so I usually end up meeting my demise in the process. Good thing my bounty never resets or anything, so no biggie. Another way to get wanted out here is by blowing a train to smithereens. After that, I usually enter the train, or whatever's left of it, and start shooting everything in sight. Definitely a lot more exciting than the whole kidnapping method. However, there is a major issue with this method. That being how trains never show up when you actually want or need them to. How convenient, am I right or am I right? A shenanigan or two later, I got my hands on the maximum bounty. I would go on to explain the long and treacherous escape I had to endure, but that'd be a flat out lie. Hell, I didn't have to escape, period, due to the fact that there wasn't even a damn thing to escape from. That, my friends, is Amberino in a nutshell. Next up is New Hanover. This upcoming special modifier is the craziest one yet. Allow me to demonstrate. In short, I'm pretty much turning into Thor, but without all his other cool abilities. You know what? I'll take it. Just as I was about to start striking down everyone in my path, get it? Anyway, I came across a rather shady interaction taking place. Obviously, I couldn't let that slide. I'm way too nosy. So I broke in, killed them, and almost myself in the process. I wasn't lying when I said this was the craziest special modifier yet. That huge lightning strike basically alerted everyone and their mothers, which really wasn't anything to jump with joy about. My weapon may be insanely powerful, but it's also rather limited due to the fact that I can only throw one at a time. With that in mind, it's safe to assume that I may or may not have died a couple dozen times. In my defense, there was only one of me and about 100 of them. I still managed to stand my ground quite well, all things considered. Hell, I was even able to get the maximum bounty in pretty much no time, or at least it felt that way. It probably took a teensy bit longer due to how many times I bit the curb, but we don't talk about that. And here we are, the final state, aka Lemoyne. You know, I've always wondered what it'd be like to be involved in some sort of huge shootout with a lot of buddies or whatever. Sounds pretty fun, right? Well, do I have some fantastic news for you. This time, the special modifier is going to give me a massive gang of bloodthirsty NPCs. God, it's beautiful. Time to make this dream of mine become a reality. Upon firing the first shot, absolutely everything went to utter chaos. As you all probably know, Saint Denis is a very big city, and with that comes a very big police force. I thought me and my gang would be able to hold them off for a while, but I was completely wrong. We were all split up instantly. It really wasn't looking too good. A little while later, I found some stragglers hiding out in the cemetery. I'm very disappointed, but honestly, I fully understand. This whole operation's basically a huge death wish. Sadly, the cops found out about our little hiding spot and we suddenly all got cornered in. We tried our best, we really did, but in the end, you could say it doesn't even matter. Ladies and gentlemen, Linkin Park. Anyway, after running for my life some more, I ran into some more of my teammates. Unlike the last bunch of them, these guys were actually helping the cause. In that moment, I shed a tear. I really did. Once again, it didn't take the law too long to corner us all in. Times 100 though. Like seriously, look at that mini-map. I'll be lucky if I make it with no deaths. Oh, what I meant to say is that I'll be lucky if I make it out with less than 5 deaths. Upon reaching a $1,500 bounty, I got on my horse and started making a run for it. That was until I got bucked off. Well, you too, I guess. Thankfully, I was able to escape, regardless of that horrible betrayal. Hell, even one of my buddies was able to get out alive. God is good, man. God is good. So there I was, wasting my time in some random ass bar because in all honesty, I got nothing else to live for. One shot turned into 2, then a couple more, and so on. Eventually I couldn't take it anymore and collapsed. When I woke up, I was stuck in the body of a chicken? What the hell is even going on? Instead of sitting around, I decided to investigate and figure out what was happening. First, I tried asking around to see if anyone saw me black out in the bar. That was when I realized a key detail. I'm a chicken, and chickens can't talk. Truth be told, being a chicken is boring as hell, so I just wanted to end it quickly. First things first, I tried drowning myself, and it didn't work. Next, I tried falling off a really tall bridge, and yet again, not a damn thing happened, besides me being at a total loss for words. Hell, I even tried getting pummeled by a train, but before I could, my game crashed. I mean, hey, I really wasn't getting anywhere with the whole death wish thing, so I'm not complaining. Once I loaded back into the game, I expected to be free from this whole animal thing, but sadly that just wasn't the case. Honestly though, I'm rather lucky. It could have been a whole lot worse. Being a bear's really not half bad. At least I can do stuff now. For example... Hey, don't blame me, I gotta pass the time somehow, like, come on. Sadly, this whole reign of terror didn't last very long, thanks to the friendly neighborhood law enforcement. Oh man, I was really getting into it as well. To no one's surprise, once I respawned, I was stuck in the body of yet another animal, more specifically, a cougar. It seems like I'm in some sort of cycle or whatever. Regardless, there's nothing much I can do about it right now, so I'm just gonna continue my whole reign of terror and hopefully not instantly die like last time. Spoke too soon, I suppose. I feel nothing but absolute disappointment for me, myself, and I at the moment. Let's just move on and forget that this ever happened. Deal? Deal. Nonetheless, upon loading back into the game, surprise surprise, I'm still stuck in this seemingly endless cycle. If you couldn't tell, I'm a horse this time. Wow, how exciting, the possibilities are endless. Just as I was about to reach my breaking point, I woke up in the bar where I had initially passed out. Obviously confused, I went to ask the bartender about what happened. As it turns out, I've been completely knocked out for a while now. Roughly 6 or 7 hours at most, which means that this whole animal thing must have been a horrible nightmare. Thank God. To celebrate, I decided to have a drink or two. I mean, what's the harm in that, right? No, no, no! Ah! Hell yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I've had my eye on this mod for a hot minute. You know all those superhero mods in GTA 5? I sure do, I used to watch videos on them all the time. Yeah, well, this is basically Red Dead Redemption 2's equivalent of those. And boy, is it glorious. Pause. Hold on just a second. I forgot to discuss the elephant in the room. If you don't know what I mean exactly, I'm referring to my outfit. I tried, guys, I really did. Originally, I was going to install a mod that would make me look more like Superman or Homelander, but they weren't cooperating with me for whatever reason. I had no choice but to try and come up with my own outfit, and yeah, you can definitely tell that it's a DIY type of thing. Regardless of that, I know the challenge was to become a superhero and all, but come on now, becoming a supervillain is so much more fun. Am I right or am I right? Absolutely no restraints whatsoever. As you can probably tell, nothing was safe from my wrath, and there wasn't a damn thing anybody could do about it. Personally, I think the coolest part about this mod is a feature called Flash Time. Essentially, it slows down everything except, you know, yourself of course, which allows you to pull off moves like this. It's genuinely addicting. Call me a psychopath. I don't care. Remember when I was being cocky, like more than usual? Here, let me remind you guys real quick. Nothing was safe from my wrath, and there wasn't a damn thing anybody could do about it. Yeah, that didn't age too well. As punishment for committing mass genocide, they drafted me into a war taking place somewhere in Guarma. Well, I'm already here, so I might as well help. Maybe it'll be fun. It was definitely something alright, mostly due to the fact that the people we were fighting were invisible, besides the clothes they were wearing. As a matter of fact, the same goes for the people on my side. Dude, what the hell is going on here? Regardless, once we defeated most of the baddies, our next stop was to either take down a secondary base or go straight for the main one. I decided to go for the secondary base first because, come on, that's obviously smarter in the long run, right? Apparently not. Even though I killed every last one of them, the game wasn't registering it for whatever reason. You know what? Screw this. I tried being good, but it's over. I'm going back to who I truly am and always was meant to be. A complete and utter dickhead. And you know what? I'm A-okay with that. I started by killing all of my teammates because I'm not gonna lie, the whole non-existent body thing was kinda freaking me out. After that, I flew back to the main map and continued my wrath. Now this is the life. And that's a wrap. What a journey that was. I've been dying to make this video for ages now, and honestly, I'm stoked with how it turned out. I genuinely hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did making it, and if you have any video ideas or thoughts, drop them in the comments. Seriously, I'd love to hear them. And while you're down there, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps a lot. But yeah, that's it from me. Peace.